Hey, good morning. Well, happy Thursday to you. Welcome to KARE 11 Plus. We're going to do more of a deep dive in this forecast here on what's going on across not only here in Minnesota, but across the country. How did you enjoy this morning? Well, the low was at -1. Some of the places, like Eden Prairie, Crystal, Blaine, were not even below zero this morning. I've never felt warmer in the backyard when I was out in the backyard than this morning at 0 degrees. I'm like, it's zero. It feels great. I think you're going to enjoy the temperatures out there. Now, these are the lows. We're way past that now into the single digits. Look at the temperatures up here. The low temperatures in Duluth and Hayward, we're at 5. 5? How? How can they be warmer than Marshall? Well, it's simple. There's two things going on. One, the Arctic high is over here. So the closer you are to the Arctic air mass, the colder it's going to be. Two, you actually had cloud cover this morning. It came in from the North Shore and it caught the Twin Cities. It did not catch Willmar and it did not catch Mankato, and that's why temperatures this morning dropped to 9 below. Same with Alexandria. That's why it was warmer in Brainerd. So again, you can see the temperature trend over the past 24 hours. So you're looking at temperatures. Yesterday we had a high of 8. That's not great. Yesterday was a cold day. Temperatures were crashing once again overnight. We hit 1 below right here around midnight, and then all of a sudden, temperatures couldn't cool down. So this morning from, during the morning hours, temperatures started warming before the sun rose this morning at 6 or 7 o'clock. The only possible way you can do that is to put a cloud deck in place, or the other thing you could do is crank in a south wind. But we didn't have a south wind, so it had to be the actual cloud cover, and it was. So again, you can see the clouds, how much warmer it is this morning. Now, it was colder, like I showed you in Marshall and down in Laverne. It was cold, but it's still warmer there, technically. Still cold, but warmer. They were at 10 below in Marshall. 14 degrees warmer this morning. 14. And it all is because of this, the cloud cover. It doesn't seem like a lot, and trust me, it isn't. Having those passing clouds during the morning hours is huge. Now, if you do that in the afternoon, it has the opposite effect. So the morning, clear skies equals cold morning. Cloud cover equals warm morning. Afternoon, cloud cover equals cool afternoon. Sunshine, obviously. You want the sunshine to warm up. So again, temperatures have been warming across the area. Again, still going to be seeing temperatures this morning double digits below. But again, the real low for most people was about 4 degrees. And you can see those winds still at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, the winds are going to calm down a little bit, but I still have them at that 5-10 miles per hour mark. And low wind chills this morning, -27, -25. Now, the Twin Cities, -8, getting better. Still -6. How about the warm spot being Brainerd, Bemidji, -1. That's it. Enjoy what is going to be a fabulous day. Let's track the wind chills today. So again, you can see through the morning, it's going to take us till about noon to break 2 degrees. So we'll break 0 late morning. The afternoon wind chills are around 5 to 6. The kids are going to recess finally. Yes. Because the threshold for every school in Minnesota is at 0. Most schools, it's -10. So if you're above -10, the kids go outside. But every school is 0, so I expect every school in the afternoon to be out there, and that's going to be good news. Again, it's been 4 days, 3 days, I guess, where our kids haven't gone outside one time, not even one time. Enjoy the sunshine. Perfect setup this morning with clouds clearing in the afternoon. I got us at 16 northwest winds. They will be there, keeping the single-digit wind chills intact, but enjoy a very comfortable day today. Temperatures will be colder, like I alluded to, down to the southwest, and that's going to be here because that's where the Arctic air mass actually passed. In fact, this morning, Kansas City, which we'll talk about here in a second, we'll take a look at national. Kansas City is much colder than the Twin Cities. How could Kansas City do that? Because the Arctic high missed us technically and went down to the south and east of us, south and west, of us. Now, if you go up here towards Hayward, 23 degrees today for a high temperature, and that is because you're away from that Arctic air mass. It's when you're talking about this little piece of air mass that came out from the Arctic and sent down, that's how you can be warmer to the north, which is not common. But this is, this isn't the most common situation. All right, let's talk positively on this Thursday. Today is the first day we are gaining 3 minutes a day. Today's the first day. So yesterday was 2 minutes and 58 seconds. Today is 3 minutes for February 20th. Now we're at over 10 and a half hours. And you can see that 10 hours and over 42 minutes for most of us here, depending on where you live. It could differ a little bit. But again, March, 11 hours and 9 minutes. So in a week and a half, we're going to be at 11 hours and 9 minutes. That means 15 minutes at night you get an later sunset, and then in the morning you get an earlier sunrise by 15 minutes, just in a week and a half. So don't blink. The sun is coming back as a warning. Well, you probably already noticed it, but you're really going to notice it over the next 2 weeks. That's where it's going to show up. That is a sign of spring if I've ever seen one. All right, now Friday, where we're still adding over 3 minutes, and actually we'll pick up steam on that. We'll go to like 3 minutes and 10 seconds as we peak. The most added sunlight at any point in the year is March, early March, so we're still adding to that. So 20, 23 degrees in St. Cloud, 26 in Ortonville. I love Friday. I think Friday's the best day to go outside, enjoy the activities, winter activities, not spring activities yet. Ice fishing, skating, skiing, this is your day. Friday's great. Friday night looks great. So does Saturday. Saturday at 30, again, I'm doing everything I can to make plans to ice fish Friday and Saturday. I'm going to bring out the kids. I'm like negotiating with Nicole. I'm like, let's go. We got to go ice fishing. Because I don't love it by Sunday. Sunday's a fine day to go ice fishing or do whatever, but it's starting to melt. And I think by next week, it's not going to look like winter anymore. I mean, we're going to be talking about this warming trend just continue to build on itself because Sunday we've got a shot at 40. Take a look at the snowpack. This has also been a factor, so we're going to go more national look now. They picked up over 6 inches of snow in North Carolina on the beach, Virginia Beach. Where's the snow been? Hasn't been us. Well, look at southern Minnesota with a whole bunch of nothing. Southern Missouri, northern Arkansas is more than we do. Come on. Kansas City's had snowpack all year long. That is very rare for Kansas City. Kansas City usually gets 1 or 2 snowstorms a year, and that's about it. They've had them all the time. Again, Iowa had some snow on the ground. Look at this one batch, though. Twin Cities barely has a snowpack. But what, 4 inches? We could eat that up quick. Now, the one good thing without a snowpack is the flooding won't be as bad. I do not love flooding. 2021 coming off that year, or 2022 coming off that year, the flooding was so bad just because we had record-breaking snow. Again, snowpack has not a lot to do with patterns. You have better chances some year for snow. This would have been a year where we should have had more snow, but we didn't because it's luck. And Kansas City, luckily or unluckily, however you look at it, got hammered with it. Again, you can see today, still winter weather advisories through 1 o'clock when you go down into Raleigh. Raleigh, dealing with more snow here today. Snowstorms everywhere. Oh, but this is another big story in the country. This is a huge warning for Arctic air. So remember I was talking about that air mass being to our west? It is obvious here. So the air mass, it actually traveled straight south into Texas. So that's how you can be colder down here in Kansas than it is up here. Again, it is much colder there. Look at the morning temperature, 12. This morning it got to 12 in Dallas. We're only 8 degrees colder than Dallas. Houston breaking 0. That's never great. Oklahoma City at 4. Look at Kansas City this morning at their low temperature, which hit at 7:30. -9, and you can clearly see the center of the Arctic high, which isn't as strong now. It's -14, but it's in South Dakota. That's going to just pivot down here before it exits. So there's your country look right there. Boy, it'd be nice to go to Vegas, morning low of 58 degrees. Vegas is a good spot right now when you got a setup like this. If we ever flip and we go above average, then the West Coast will eventually cool back down. But that has been a nice spot to be. Now, speaking of warming up, look at Vegas. It would be great if you take an early trip to Vegas, be in the 80s. That'd be awesome. What about us? Well, here in Minneapolis, we are going to, or Twin Cities, whatever, Minnesota, Wisconsin, upper Midwest. We're going to be above average through March. It's not going to last forever. I think we go back to normal temperatures by the time we get to the second week of March. But normal at that time is the 30s still. So we get some 20s and 30s, maybe you get some snow. But I don't see any massive Arctic air coming back in. And by the time you get a shot at Arctic air, if it's the second week of March, it's not going to be the same. I mean, it's March. Sun is much stronger. All right, here's your 7-day forecast. 16 degrees Thursday, 20 on Friday, 30 on Saturday. Temperatures continue to climb. Again, the average high is Saturday is 31 degrees, so we're seasonal. I love the average. Actually, I hate the average, to be honest with you, in Minnesota because the average is Tony Hansen, the smartest man I've ever met in my life, the professor in St. Cloud State, love you, dude, said the smartest thing that anybody's ever said to me, and he said, never use the term normal. So I use the term average, never use the term normal. Why is that? Because there is no normal in Minnesota, right? Because the average doesn't tell you anything. And I'm going on that rant because this week is perfect, right? We've had almost record-breaking cold. Then you have one day at average while you're passing it by, and then you go into the 40s. But if you took this 15-day block and you just cut it in half with the mean, guess what you'd get? Average. Has this seemed average to you? It is. Chaos is normal. There is no normal in Minnesota. So there you go. There's your life lesson. Again, smartest man in the world said that. When he said, so I don't use the term normal. I do use the term average because it is true. It's an average. But again, I can't be like, yeah, the normal this day is 28 to 32 degrees. Well, that never happens in this part of the country. Let's be real. It's normal to be either 40 below or 40 above because we live in the central parts of the country, and it is insane. All right. I love that rant. Back to the cold air. So this morning's low temperatures, if you guys are just joining us here, we were around 0, but it felt so great this morning. Temperature-wise, it was super comfortable, which is hard to believe because normally, right, we would be dealing with temperatures, we would be saying, I would say, if we were in like an average temp or an above average temp, I would say, okay, 1 below is chilly. But I can't say that because it's been 40 below 0. And I was outside all morning and -1 felt great. -10 in Marshall, -13 in Laverne. And you can see the clear skies down there, making it much colder. Again, we've been talking about national temps and how it's been so cold in Kansas City and Dallas. And that's because this actually passed through the Great Plains, the Arctic high. So again, you can see west has been colder. And the past 24 hours has been interesting. You can see 8 degrees by yesterday afternoon. That did not feel warm. I didn't think yesterday was warm. Today it's 14, 15 will feel great. Notice how the temperature just stopped cooling. The reason we stopped cooling was from that cloud deck. Magical cloud deck came in from the northeast, 10 to 14 degrees warmer this morning in the metro due to these magic clouds. And why do I say that? Well, what do clouds do? You have heat that's trying to exit the earth at all times, right? It's kind of like your house. Think about your house, right? If you didn't have a roof on your house, all your heat would be leaving because warm air rises. So this warm air is rising all the time. It's trying to get out of here. Well, if you put clouds on it, you just literally, boop, reflect that warmth back down to you. It's that simple. And if I didn't boop, then you wouldn't know. The sound affects everything, right? All right, so temperatures, again, by 7:30, these things bounced. So you could see the temperatures were bouncing. Couldn't bounce, though. Laverne and Marshall stayed cold there, and that is, again, because you couldn't get that actual cloud cover to reflect that warmth back down to you. Winds today have been an issue, especially down there in Marshall. Still 27 below this morning down there, and that has been where the cold air mass is. We've been warming up rapidly. Look at these, feels like temperatures in Hayward. 8 above. Hayward is just balmy. And when I think of Osceola was had like a 45 below 0 wind chill the other day, 2 days ago. Actual temperature in Osceola was 24 below 0. Now, wind chills today will not be nearly as bad. We will actually break 0 for the wind chill, first time that we've done that this week. Yesterday was sub-0 99% of the day. Today we're going to be at 5-6, and it will feel good because it's going to be sunny. A lot of sunshine today. 9 by 11, 14 degrees by 1, 16 by 3. And again, by 5, we're going to hang out at 16. Enjoy your Thursday, 16 degrees. Again, if you're just catching this, I love this. We are now gaining 3 minutes of daylight every single day. That starts today. We were gaining 2 minutes and 58 seconds yesterday, but now maybe you've noticed the sun is out there more. At night, the sunset is going down later. In the morning, the sunrise is coming up earlier. But what's the darkest day of the year? December 21st. Darkest day of the year. 8 hours and 46 minutes and 10 seconds of sunlight. Now we're already 2 hours above that, right? Maybe you don't even realize that, but now we've already surpassed the darkest day by 2 hours. What is the lightest day of the year? I'm like quizzing you. Summer solstice. Again, I haven't looked at the exact day, but that would be June 21st or 22nd, depending on the day. So that is the lightest day of the year. Now, when you're at June 21st, how much sunlight are you adding? 0. You're not adding any. Late May, early June, how much are you adding? Seconds, a couple seconds. So it's the transition periods in Minnesota that are so volatile because you're rapidly losing sunlight like we do in September or rapidly gaining sunlight like we do right now, late February or early March. So that's why our transition seasons they don't just seem quick, they are quick. All right, 20 degrees. I love the sunlight thing. 20 degrees Friday. Enjoy the next few days. This is all about optimism on your Thursday. I hope you really have a great weekend. Enjoy the last few days of what I'm calling winter because it gets warm.